I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say about this team at this point. I'm just at a loss for words about what the fuck is wrong with the Tigers right now. Just, what is going on with them? It's like, how does a team that looked good for 4 or 5 months all of a sudden forget how to play baseball in the last month of the season when it matters? Like, this is just utterly fucking pathetic. Just absolutely embarrassing by the Tigers. Like, did this team get cursed by doing the Donald Trump dance on the 9/11 game against the Yankees? Because this team has seemed like they forgot how to play baseball since that Trump game. Because Tigers cannot have do anything right in this series in the Latin East 2 this week against Cleveland and Atlanta. Just Cleveland was an absolute fucking embarrassment, and Atlanta was no different. And the Atlanta one was more frustrating because Therese Gubo once again had another outstanding game. And then the Tigers fumbled the bag with it. It's like, how many times is Gubo gonna come in and have a no fucking decision through 6 innings and have a fucking outstanding game? Just, what the fuck is this shit from the Tigers? Like, how does a team that had this shitty fucking AL Central division on lock all of a sudden be on the verge of blowing it? Like, look at this. About a couple months ago, the Tigers were 16 games ahead of Cleveland. 16 fucking games. And now, that gap is only down to 1 game with 6 to go. And the Tigers' next series, their next 3-game set, is against Cleveland. And that series is effectively going to decide who ends up winning the AL Central and who actually makes the playoffs. Because, think of this. The Tigers were the top team in baseball in the American League for 5 months, throughout the entire first half of the season and heading into the All-Star break. And now all of a sudden, the Tigers are on the verge of completing one of the greatest collapses in MLB's recent memory. It's crazy how within a couple months since the All-Star break, the Tigers can go from being the top dog in the American League to not even making the playoffs. That's utterly fucking embarrassing. Even if the Tigers make the playoffs right now, I honestly feel this season as a complete failure regardless. Regardless of what they do in the final 2 series this year against Cleveland and Boston. I view this season as a complete failure. It's like, how the fuck can you look at what the Tigers have done this month and say this team can win a World Series? It's fucking crazy how during the first 5 months of the season before the All-Star break, this team wasn't looking legit. Looked like they were having their best team. The best team the Tigers had since, the 1984 team that won the World Series. And now all of a sudden, they're on the verge of missing the playoffs. It's utterly fucking embarrassing. It's just crazy how much a difference 1 year makes. Because a year ago, the Tigers in this situation completed a pretty improbable comeback where they had only a 0.3% chance of making the playoffs. And now the Tigers are on the verge of collapsing and missing the dance entirely. Even though the Tigers are guaranteed a winning record, here's the thing. A winning record doesn't mean a fucking thing if you don't make the playoffs. A winning record doesn't mean shit if you don't make the dance. And I'll be honest, honestly, I think the Tigers missing the playoffs will be a good thing because it would show Chris Ilitch and everybody in the front office that the way they're doing things right now, the complacency they're doing, isn't working. It's not going to work. It would send the message because if the Tigers make the playoffs, nothing's going to change. They're just going to keep being complacent and arrogant. Especially A.J. Hinch's post-game conference after the loss to Atlanta today, where he's like, oh, well, we're still going to wake up a first-place team. Really? We're still doing this fucking ignorance after this? You've lost 6 games in a fucking row! You've lost 9 of your last fucking 10! How can you go to the boys in the locker room and say this is a good thing? Dear God! This is why nobody takes a Chris Ilitch-owned team seriously. Because Chris Ilitch has no fucking clue how to run a goddamn team, and he hasn't bothered to figure it out. All I say is it's a good thing that fucking his dad, Mike Ilitch, is dead. So he doesn't have to see his fucking son run both the Tigers and the Red Wings straight into the goddamn ground. Because I'll say this, Chris, your dad would be very disappointed in what you've done to the Tigers and the Red Wings. Somehow within a couple months, you took a team that looked like a World Series contender and have all of a sudden turned them into a fucking meme. Tigers fans will never hear the end of this if the Tigers miss the playoffs. Like, seriously, how the hell is this even possible? Just utterly embarrassing. At this point, I'll just say this, even if the Tigers don't deserve to make the playoffs. Like, this team has not shown up and performed when it has mattered the most. Like, if you can't show up and perform when it matters the most, you don't deserve to make it in. The Tigers haven't done that. They've lost 6-7 games in a fucking row. They got swept in back-to-back series. I believe this is for the first time this season. Like, the Tigers don't deserve to be in the playoffs. If they somehow still make it in despite all this, they're just taking a spot away from somebody that's more deserving. Like, I'll just say this. For anyone that wants to try and defend this, let me just say this. If the Tigers can't show up and perform when it matters the most in the regular season, what makes you think the playoffs are going to be any different when the intensity gets ramped up? Like, I'll say this in terms of the series against Cleveland coming up. The Tigers' only chance at winning this series, or coming close to it, at least winning the series, their only hope is if that the Cleveland Browns, who are a very cursed sports NFL franchise, the Tigers' only hope is that the Browns pass any voodoo magic off to the Guardians for that series after the Browns' miraculous come-from-behind win over Green Bay, and hoping that Cleveland used all their voodoo magic up on that Browns win today against the Green Bay Packers, which honestly, I kind of laughed my ass off when Green Bay lost to the Cleveland Browns. And people seriously thought the fucking Packers had this division on lockdown after week 2. Stupid idiots. You can't judge off that shit. Fuck out of here. And yeah, the Lions play the Browns next week, but they got Baltimore tomorrow night. But yeah, this is just utterly fucking embarrassing. Just like, I don't know what to say about this. It is completely fucking embarrassing and pathetic. That a team that had World Series aspirations on the front office side, nah, we're good, we don't need to do anything, and got complacent. It's like, this is, like, honestly, the Tigers this season is the biggest example of what happens when you get complacent. It kills you. And even if the Tigers have been sandbagging the last month or so, here's the thing about that sandbagging. It doesn't mean anything if you don't make the playoffs, it just goes to waste. Like, just... what the fuck can you say about this? It's just utterly fucking embarrassing. Honestly, honestly, I would not be pissed if the Tigers missed the playoffs. Because this team needs some fucking changes and needs a massive overhaul. Missing the playoffs is the only way that overhaul happens. Unless Chris Ilitch decides to still be a dumb bitch like he always is. Sometimes I just don't get Chris Ilitch on teams. And they're usually more complacent. I mean, some people want to give Brad Holmes and the Lions shit for being complacent the last year or so. Bitch, Chris Ilitch on teams are significantly worse at that. Maybe someday Chris Ilitch will fucking get his head out of his ass. But given his track record the last decade since becoming owner of the Tigers and the Red Wings after his dad died, I highly doubt it. I'll say this, Chris, if you're not going to give a fuck about either the Tigers or the Red Wings, then sell the fucking team to somebody that will. Hell, I bet you Sheila Ford Hamp would have no problem taking the Tigers off your hands. If it comes down to it. But yeah, just absolutely fucking embarrassing.